Welcome, and here we're looking at gold, and it looks like the ADP figures also interrupted the wave count here as well. Well, not so much. We were looking for 5 waves up. Last time we spoke, we were looking for the 5th wave up into group 2 area here in 5 waves, and that's completed. And this is the 50 and 61.8 retracement level from wave 5 here, so that's sort of in play here at the moment. So in a bit of a nutshell, as long as the 1250, the 1248, the trend line support here stays intact, then we could possibly see more upside. But we would need to see more development in here first, because we do have a wave count that puts this in as the top here. But I'm not sure if that's the case, because when I look at silver here as well, it's retested the $20 of just mini contracts here. However, this coming all the way up through here kind of puts this in a bit of a bullish mode, because it creates overlapping wave structures from here. So obviously this is going to play out more so here in terms of reactive pattern through here. So let's just have a look at that pattern as it unfolds, and we'll take it from there. If we're looking at impulse waves down, then we'll look to short. But we just really need this to play out here, and also the gold market to play out as well from here. But the other point too is that this particular move down through here is in 3 waves, so so it's corrective. So we should take this top out through here. But that said and done, you know, the ADP figures really knocked this around last night. So the non-farm payroll figures coming out on Friday will obviously knock the market around as well, and any price action in between those two periods of time will be kind of insignificant as well. But let's see if we can interpret them later on tomorrow. So we'll pull the intraday apart. The copper market, there's not a real lot of change here. We knew that the retest to 320 would take place, and that's still in place now. As long as the 318 stays there as support, then we can expect to see a larger correction unfold there. But the 318 as a retested resistance would see lower ground from that point here. The move up through is what we were sort of expecting here, a move or down to the 318 and then a move up, and it does it. We can count this as 5 waves. It's a nice 3rd wave here, the 4th and the 5th here. So let's just see how this sort of pans out. Currently this is down in 3 waves here, so it can be corrective. But I just want to see, this looks a bit corrective as well. So let's just see how this sort of plays out through here, and if this, you know, develops further. So on top of 320, then the materials sector is stronger. The materials sector, I get my days mixed up a bit, but I think they led the market down yesterday, last night. However, well, partly because of the ADP figures as well. So the materials that go with that workload, so to speak, would be less. Anyway, let's see the non-farm payroll figures are going to be knocking this one around as well. But in a bit of a nutshell, support 320 positive, 318 negative. The oil market as well is it failed to gain support on top of 98, which is just up here. So you can see that it poked up through there. So we don't buy breakouts. We look for the retest, and if the retest can, this is a retest here. If the retest can hold, so if it retest, so this market that moved down through here, then it moved up. Here looking like support, then it created that little high there. So you would take out the high there if it stayed in place from that point, but it didn't. This one didn't, this one didn't, this one didn't. So there's nothing there yet. This can play out as down for 1, back for 2, down for 3 here, or the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. I wouldn't start thinking negative about this market unless the 96.50 became a retested resistance. So once again, we need to just allow that time to play out, and it's likely to follow stock as well. So if we do have a low in the S&P 500 and a push up on Friday, snap back from the NFP figures, then we'll see oil move to the upside. So in this particular case, buy new highs, don't wait for the retest on 98. The soybean market, or the grains, are pretty much doing what we sort of expect them to do. I think there's a string of industry figures coming out next week for the grains. I know it is for cotton, so just check the other ones as well. Just looking at the daily chart here for soybeans, obviously you can see the resistance that we've been working through here. Yesterday we were expecting this to move up through to here, find resistance here, and then sort of be forced back to the 1300 here. So let's just take a close look at that. I mean, if it all goes according to plan through here, on the positive side, we want to see an A and a B and a C somewhere up here, and then sort of a break higher here for trades. Any trades that are in this space here really need to have the stops way out of the way down through here as such. This whole pattern here can be interpreted as bullish or bearish, so we have to wait for the breakout through here. But because it's sort of moving along this particular line here, got a bit of a positive bias for it, and I've sort of always had that, but just never had the evidence of support on top of the 1300 to actually trade. So just drilling into that a little bit through here. Yesterday we were looking for 5 waves up here to make wave 1, and then we're looking for an ABC pattern here to come in and buy back on here, and then move up through here. But I think that in drilling in here a little bit closer, last night, today, early hours this morning, I've just recounted this little wave structure going up through here. It just seems a better fit having this as 1 and back for 2 here, and then 5 waves up for the 3rd wave, a 4th wave here, and a possible 5th wave up through here. We know that daily trend line is cutting through this sort of 20 to 30 area here. This is going to be causing resistance in that sort of area through here. So anyway, look, let's just sort of let it sort of play out through here. The 1300 will develop as a nice support because we've got these little wave 4s through here. The other thing that I want to mention too is that, you know, this trend up here is expanding. Fair enough, this is a short thing here, but these trends here and the corrections are getting larger as this moves up. So this is one correction, this is a bigger one, this is a bigger one. So it's growing, it's expanding like a tree. So it is a trend to the upside. So finding ways in would be the go. Now, we were looking for a retest of 1300. It may or may not come from this particular wave 4 here, but I don't really know what to say. The setup is not sort of perfect yet, but sometimes their situations are not perfect. If you've got long positions in this market, well, then continue to get them at, you know, say every 10 points here. But at the end of the day, what we want here is a break higher, and we want that 1330 to become the support here. If I've got the wave count right here by the buy, then we'd be looking at well, this could pull back to here, but then little 5 waves up here, and then we'd look for an A and a B and a C back to here, and then up from here. But if that's the case, if through here we get some little move up through here, and we get some move back here, and then we get a little move up through here, then we must buy those new highs up there, and then we'd also add on 1340 as well. So just bear that in mind. The idea is to build through here. I'm sure you've got your own sort of trade setups and signals and so forth. I'm just pointing out that it is looking good. I'd just like to see an impulse wave up completed, a nice corrective pattern through here, and then building to the upside there. The wheat market, just on the weekly here, looking for calling this low in through here, which is always, you know, with a bit of pinch of salt, so to speak. The move up through here, the closest largest number is 600 here. Okay, so that's what we're kind of looking for there. There will be resistance at that point there, so just bear that in mind. The other point here too that I just wanted to work out here as well, there is the case that from this particular wave 4 here down to wave 5 here, we've got it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if I had this wrong and this is just a corrective move here, then this would still be wave 3 here. So we could move wave 3 down to here, and then this wave 4 here would be over at the 600 here, and the 38.2 retracement level from this wave 2 here down to wave 3 here back to wave 4 here. The 38.2 comes in, at 590, 600, say, in this sort of area here. So we just got to bear that in mind, that it can fail from here, and that's what it would be at that stage there. But so far what we're looking for here is we do have a nice impulse wave developing up through here. So that being the case, this is sort of how it looks here. So with our this wave 4 may not be here. We'll leave it there for the time being and work with the structure as it unfolds. But the current structure we've got is we've got this impulse wave to the upside here in 5 waves. So we can drill into that a little bit further here. I've done a bit of work on that. It is a little bit dodgy to count it in through here, but if I just take this as the 3rd wave here, we can look at this as the 4th and the 5th here. So we can look at this being a 5th wave in here, somewhere here. If that's not the case, then we've got a 3rd wave here. But either way, what we can expect is some type of ABC correction that could come back to this distance here, or we could see it move up through here and have the correction more across the level like this here, and then move up from here. But we do have an impulse wave here in 5 waves. So once this is complete, either here or up here, and we get the correction, we will have another 5 waves because we've had this first 5 waves here. So that's the good news here. I mentioned that just being long above the 572 is healthy, and you can use the daily robo or the weekly robo and so forth. But we should be going higher through here, but we've got a trend here. The next major thing is a corrective move here. So you'll need to accommodate that situation and use it as don't see it as a fear thing. If you're long, see it as an opportunity to buy more. Okay, the corn market, same thing as well. Looking at a move up from here as well. The weekly robo is working well, as I mentioned, from the low here. The thing here, though, is that the move up here is in 3 waves. So 3 waves, as you know, is corrective. Yes, it can turn into 5 waves, but this low here, this pattern here is in three waves. And even if it goes up higher, so from here, if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, this still leaves us with 3 waves here, and it can be corrective. Okay, so we don't have a clear impulse wave to the upside just yet. We would need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then an A and a B and a C. But in the meantime, while this is going on, we can't wait for that type of confirmation on that scale. We figured there was 5 waves in this sharp move up here. That's why we started building the trade from the 430 here, and so forth. So just drilling in here a little bit further. The idea was to build in trades from the 430 support here, all through 431, 432, 433, 435 here, in this case 435, and now also on the 440 here. So this looks like the classic trading levels pattern here. So if that's going to be the case, we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then some type of little correction from here, and then we're looking to go higher from here. The idea is to buy at 440. If it just goes straight up from here, then that would come from the top of group 1, so 41, 42, 43. So support on 43 here would see you move up to the 45 at that stage. So you need to build on the 440, 443, 445, and our target is the 450. Now you can take the money at the 450 if you want, but longer term traders should just accommodate whatever happens across here and look to add as it moves up once the correction's finished from there. The correction across here can come back to the 445 here, but don't count on it. Don't think you can get out at 450 and then get back in at 445. It's always difficult to get back in. So trading less and accommodating the trend longer is easier. But the idea is to just keep sort of building in, but we don't want to be adding above the 445 here. We can get, once you've got support on the 445, yes, add, but don't add on 46, 47, or 48, because we can do that later on if need be in the correctional phase across here. Okay, the orange juice, Well, it's doing all the right things, but look, once again here, I have to put a question mark on wave 2 here because we've only got 3 waves up here. Yes, this 3 waves up here can turn into, into 5 waves, and once we're above the original idea was to be trading long on support of 150, but we're just sort of scaling in and looking for opportunities here, and we figured that it ended here, and we've been okay with this so far, and we've 40 is the support now, and so forth. So you can keep building in, but just realize that we don't have confirmation. We're just trading sub levels to the upside, and there will be a resistance above the 145. If we get support on 145, then we'll get to the 148, but there will be corrective processes occurring up here, so you don't really want to be buying up here if you haven't already holding positions in this all through here, so to speak. Once again, 145 here, well, if you get support on that, yes, add, but don't add any more into 46, 47, 48, because there will be swings across here, and we need to determine what we've actually what we've got here. And like I say, I've got the question mark on wave 2 here. This can be an A wave down, a B wave back up here, and then a C wave down. So this could be a B wave here, the A wave to here, and the C wave coming down through over to here. It's valid, so I don't know, but the other grains are pushing up, so it seems to be sort of okay for the time being. If I got that sort of on an intraday here, yeah, okay. So what we were looking yesterday was we were looking at this as 5 waves up, A, B, C back, and then another 5 waves up through here. So that's all going according to plan, but that can be an A and a B and a C and finishing here. In fact, we've got little 5 waves here already, but this, so we can expect a fold back in here in some way or another as well. So I guess the 142 here as a retested resistance would show us, would point out a sign of weakness, but I'd certainly hold into the market. I wouldn't be moving out of this just yet. We need, long as it's above this trend line in the 140, everything's pretty sweet at that point there. But expect the 145 to produce a corrective pattern and then a move up from there. All right, cheers.